back to my channel. It's your girl Sean and I'm back with another video. Today I'm going to be sharing with you guys a letter that was sent to me from one of you, and it is a doozy. I'm also going to be having a brand new video uploaded this Friday. I'm currently on vacation somewhere down in Florida enjoying spring break, but I do have 2 videos for you guys this week, so definitely be back on Friday this week for a brand new video. Anyway, if you're new to my channel, be sure to subscribe because I'd love to have you join our family here. If you love and relationship advice videos, lifestyle videos, things like that, you'll love it here. And if you're already a subscriber, thank you for that, but also do me a favor and hit that little bell, which is right next to the subscribe button. That way you'll never miss an upload from your girl. And also, if you want to further support the movement, consider purchasing one of my books. I've written 3. The first one is called The Dating Game: How to Find Yourself While Looking for Mr. Right. My second book is called Breaking the Man Code: The Key to Unlocking His Heart. And my third book is called Getting Unstuck: How to Create the Life You've Always Wanted to Live. I'll be sure to link all 3 of my books below so you guys can check them out. Now, without any further ado, let's get started with today's video. Let's go get 'em. Hey Coach Sean, I love your love and relationship advice. My story is kind of long. I'm 25 years old, was married for 3 years. Last year, January, I was diagnosed with premature ovarian failure. My chances of conceiving my own child were very slim. Everything went downhill from there. My husband just woke up one day and said, "I don't love you anymore and I don't want to be with you." I pleaded with him and tried to change things and compromise. He didn't want to hear it. He told me I was ugly. He wasn't attracted to me anymore. He said, "You look too dark and you are too slim and you don't have a butt like those Instagram models." It was hard for me not to take it personal. This was my husband telling me that I'm nothing. The worst was yet to come. July 4th at 1:30, I came home to him in bed with his coworker. It was like a dream. I was beyond shocked and hurt. I left him after that because I kept trying to go back to convince him to save our marriage. I finally gave up and met someone new on Plenty of Fish. I did something stupid and slept with the guy I met, and I miraculously got pregnant in September. Fast forward to today. I had my baby early, and unfortunately she passed away after living only 8 days. My husband is still my husband and wants to get back together. A lot has happened and I don't think I've forgiven him nor myself. Is my marriage even still a marriage? His family wants us back together, but I don't see myself going back for the right reasons. I would love to take him back for stability and comfort, but my heart is dark and cold. What should I do? This letter really, it really spoke to me for a lot of reasons. I think that you're beating yourself up about a lot of things, and don't get me wrong, there is a lot of blame to go around, but it's not all yours. And honestly, I also feel like 2 wrongs don't make a right. The moment that you found your husband in bed with his coworker, the marriage could have been over and done right then and there. You have biblical grounds to leave him. Even your husband trying to abandon you by saying that he didn't want to be with you anymore, by saying all those mean things to you. Abandonment is also biblical grounds for divorce. But I feel like instead of leaving it and letting the breakup be clean, you further muddied the waters by having an affair yourself and even having another man's baby. I'm not sure if either one of you is truly ready to be married, or at the very least being married to each other. Now, for me personally, it would be very hard for me to let go of the idea of my husband telling me all the things that he's told you. You know, the Bible says out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. All of those things that he was telling you, he really meant those things. You know, that's the thing about having arguments with people. I actually just had a coaching client that I was talking to just last night about the same issue. When you're in an argument with someone and you realize they're taking the filter off of what they're saying and they're letting you have it uncensored, you should really listen to what they're saying. A lot of time, a lot of things that they've really been holding back, things they've truly always wanted to say to you, feelings that they've felt about you for a long time, all of a sudden when they're really angry and they don't have the energy or the desire to censor themselves or filter themselves, you get more truth in that anger-filled tirade than you may even get in a lifetime with someone. Although it wouldn't make me happy to know that my husband really felt like that about me, almost treated me like he settled for me, that would really hurt me. But at the same time, I'd be really grateful to know exactly how he felt before I continued to invest my time, my energy, my body into somebody that really felt like that about me. But I think the issue actually is a lot deeper. I think your husband never expected not to be able to have children with you. And I feel like he acted out of that. I know it may not seem like that. A lot of the hurt and the anger that he felt, I feel like it was misdirected. Like you said, you know, he expected to have a baby with you, and you guys, I think his whole dream of having a family with you, it all collapsed when you both were unable to conceive. And instead of talking to you or talking to someone about his feelings, he just lashed out. He got angry with you about it. He started looking for other women, which to me, maybe possibly in his mind, were fertile and could possibly carry his seed. It's kind of emasculating for a man. Now keep in mind, I'm not giving him an excuse at all. Cheating on you, breaking his vows with you is definitely not acceptable under any circumstance at all. But I do feel like the deeper issue is that he couldn't get over the fact that you couldn't get pregnant. And he handled it all wrong. Now, I could be wrong about that. I don't know if the verbal abuse has been something that was ongoing. I don't know if you saw warning signs. You guys know I always tell you guys, I learned this from my mother, that God always sends warning signs. So I don't know if there were like signs and little slick comments and little backward compliments and things like that he's been sort of saying to you for years that you overlooked. Because I don't know how he would just wake up all of a sudden and all of a sudden you're not good enough. You're too dark. Your body is too slim. Your butt is not this big. Like, I don't know where all this is coming from all of the sudden. I feel like there's so much more to your story that you may be leaving out. Is he drinking more? Do you think he's possibly using drugs? This sudden change in behavior, it's triggered by something. So I don't know that I have enough information in this letter to truly pinpoint what that was. But what I feel like it could possibly be is the whole infertility issue. He may feel like less of a man if he couldn't give you a baby. Do I think you should make your marriage work? If you want to. As bad as this may seem on the surface, if God really wants to work on this and if you guys really still love each other and want to make it work, you can. But I'll tell you this, I will be doggone if my man cheated on me and some random aunt, uncle, his mother, I don't care who it was telling me to go back. If you think he's so amazing, you marry him. Because if Jesus Christ himself already said, if your man cheats on you, you don't have to stay, I'll be doggone if Aunt so-and-so is going to convince me. Personally, if my husband were to, God forbid, cheat on me, I would care less what his family has to say about it. I feel like the decision to stay and work on your marriage should be yours and yours alone. And if you feel like your husband has caused irreparable damage to your relationship, then I don't think that you should keep forward with the relationship. But it's completely up to you. I can't give you the answer to that. You have to pray and ask God what he would have you do. But if you don't feel the same way about your husband, if there's too much that has happened that you feel like you cannot get over, don't torture yourself. Life is not the pain Olympics. You don't go for gold in pain. You don't go and try to see how much you can take. And you're not a better person, a better wife, a better mother if you stand there and let somebody just beat on you. Not necessarily physically, but even the verbal abuse. And by all the things that he's done, how he's degraded and demeaned you, Lord knows for how long. You don't get points for that. You don't get medals for that. You no longer have to compete in the pain Olympics. If you don't want to be with this man, you don't have to be. That's not me saying that. You have biblical grounds to leave. He tried to abandon you. You caught him red-handed in the bed with the coworker. So I'm not sure if you're a Christian or not, but if you are, I definitely recommend that you work on rebuilding your relationship with God. You definitely should be asking for forgiveness, because even though your husband did it first, it doesn't make what he did any worse than what you did. You guys are equally as guilty of cheating on each other. Because how can you expect God to bless your next relationship if you haven't fully cleaned up this one? I think you should forgive your husband for what he did, and you definitely should forgive yourself for the mistakes that you made. All of this seems like it stemmed from anger and disappointment. You guys were so hurt, you didn't know how to really deal with it. When you were having the infertility issues, you should have both sat down and talked to someone. But instead of doing it in a healthy way, you both went on these destructive paths. You had another man's baby, for goodness sake. Even if you go to counseling on your own, I definitely think that you should talk to someone about how you've been feeling and about your marriage. If you're trying to repair your marriage, consider sitting down with your pastor or a minister or a marriage counselor and talk these issues through. Because marriage is work. It's not always going to be hearts and glitter and amazing Instagram posts, you guys on vacations and all that. It's not always going to be that. Sometimes marriage is you guys standing together and showing how strong you are in the midst of the hardest times. Like infertility, the loss of a parent, like so many, loss of a home, so many losses, so many issues that happen throughout life that it really tests your marriage, tests what it's really made of. And I feel like when you guys had this huge issue, instead of, banding together and showing how strong you were, you guys went your own separate ways. I don't know God's plan in any of this. I don't know if He allowed all of this to happen to actually bring you two closer together or not. But what I do know is that it's something that you definitely need to be praying about, asking God to show you the path to take. Because if God wants you to be back with Him, God's going to have to change a lot of things about Him. And He's also going to have to change your heart towards Him. But if you're praying about that, praying without ceasing, and you feel like that's not the path that you're going down and you want to end your relationship, then that's on you. I can't tell you what to do in that situation. But I can tell you that God has the answer. If you expect to be forgiven, then you too must forgive Him. But just because you forgive someone doesn't mean that you have to be together. I can forgive you and still not be with you. That's up for you to decide. Anyway, that's pretty much it for today's video. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. Be sure to thumbs up if you did. And also, if you want to continue to support the movement, consider purchasing my books. The first one is called The Dating Game, How to Find Yourself While Looking for Mr. Right. My second book is called Breaking the Man Code, The Key to Unlocking His Heart. And my third book is called Getting Unstuck, How to Create the Life You've Always Wanted to Live. I'll be sure to link all three of my books below. And be sure to come back to this channel on Friday at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, a brand new Strawberry Letter. It's called He Cheated with the Best Man. That will be out this Friday, so definitely come back. I love you guys, and I'll see you all in the next video. Till next time, later divas and dudes. Deuces, honey.